Hey, we are live, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It is 7 o'clock and it's author talk time. I'm Rekaya Gibson, the owner of the Food Temptress Cookbook Store here in Virginia Beach and online at foodtemptress.com. We feature cookbooks by Black authors. And today we are featuring Julie Vaucresson, who is the author of this lovely book. I'm going to get my angles right. Let's see here. Creole Made Easy with with the Creole Sausage Queen.
I am the Creole Sausage Queen.
So welcome, welcome. We
Thank
are so
you.
excited to have you, and of course I have to say I miss New Orleans, but I'm representing with my shirt today.
Oh,
So
wow. I see it. That's great.
So thank you. So let's jump right in. So lovely book. So if you guys haven't seen it, it is a great book to have in your collection. So let's start out by asking Julie, what does Creole mean?
Well, Creole, the loose definition is anybody native to the colony. So that's the historical definition. It has been redefined over years where people have said it's about being of mixed race or anything like that, but it's not. It's more about a culture. And I think New Orleans is very heavily on the Creole, the culture, the food, the things that we do in food, not just the food, but the rituals associated with food.
Well, good. And I wanted to clear that up because sometimes people ask and we just don't know or we forget, right? Like over time, I think definitions get lost in translation. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So, Miss Julie, describe a Sunday, describe Sunday dinners growing up in the Fredericks household.
So for my mom, Sunday dinner was everything. It wasn't where she would cook tacos or spaghetti. You saved the roast with, pot roast with gravy and rice. She had peas. She'd have a big dessert, and all my family would come. And it was a special time. I've even tried to bring it back with my family, but my kids are grown now and doing their own things. But it was always a special meal. It had to be something almost near holiday quality.
I love
I
that.
know.
So give us some examples of what you might have.
So, like I said, the roast, a pot roast, or
Mhm.
she would get a turkey breast and cook a turkey breast with dressing. And she always would start with a soup. And we'd have dessert because Sunday was special. Weeknights, my mom worked. She'd come home and put some spaghetti and meat sauce on in a minute, or tacos or something like that. That never flew well over Sunday dinner.
Oh, well, good. So Sunday dinners sound like the place to be at the Frederick household.
Absolutely. And it was interesting because when I was dating my now husband, and I invited him over for dinner, and he comes from a very, very well-known culinary family. So I said, okay, I got to make this right. I remember leaving work early, going shop for everything, cooked this wonderful meal. He ate it. He thought it was delicious. And then I didn't hear from him again. So probably about 3 months, not 3 months, 3 weeks to a month later, he calls me, and I was going to Sunday dinner at my mom's house. And when we got there, my mom had like oyster artichoke soup, and I forgot what the main course was. And then we had cake for dessert. She had flowers on the table. So he was like, oh my God, she's not trying to just trap me, with this meal. This is how they eat. So I
Right.
redeemed myself on bringing him to Sunday dinner.
That's wonderful. So since we're talking about your husband and his family, so I thought about you guys because it's Black Business Month, and tell me a little bit of history about the Vaucressons. Am I saying that right?
You,
Vaucresson?
you, you got it almost right. Vaucresson.
Vaucresson. Vaucresson.
There you go.
Okay, I'm missing a different letter. Okay,
Vaucresson. Yes.
Vaucresson. Okay, so bring
And I
me.
put it to you like this. There's a bakery here that uses our sausage in a croissant. And so they call it the Vaucresson. So it's almost like the name, Vaucresson.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Now I understand. Vaucresson. Thank you, Vaucresson. All right, we got it.
All
Yes.
right. So my husband's family. My husband is a third generation sausage maker. His family has been making sausage since 1899. And so last year when I did the book, it was pretty much in honor of the 125th year in business, which is pretty unusual for a Black owned business. They also had a restaurant. His dad was the first person of color post Reconstruction to have a restaurant on Bourbon Street. And since you've lived in New Orleans, you remember Pat O'Brien's?
Mm-hmm.
The Pat O'Brien's Annex was where the restaurant was. And the restaurant was Vaucresson's Café Creole. We have a restaurant now, Vaucresson's Creole Café. So it's kind of a play on the words. But his family are the only original vendor at the Jazz and Heritage Festival. My husband's been to every one, went to the first one in the Playpen, and it's still going now. And we're hoping our kids will take it over and continue the tradition. The idea for the Jazz Fest was actually brought about at his father's restaurant. So it's a lot of history here, a lot of history with us in the neighborhood, because even when we came back, we decided to come back to this location and be where it all began.
Mm-hmm. And so you guys have managed to come through a pandemic, Hurricane Katrina, and all sorts of things. How has that been for business?
It has been a struggle, but we are people that don't give up. We've had a lot of things to hit us. Even with Katrina, we were in every grocery store with the sausage. We had delivery trucks, the whole processing facility, and we lost all that. And 3 years ago, in November, this November, will be the anniversary of our restaurant that we've opened. So it took us that long to get back. But we're back and we're better than ever. We're still selling the sausage that his family's been making for 126 years. But now we also have a restaurant with it. So you can come in, you can see where the sausage is being made. You can buy a book. It's a destination more than just a restaurant.
Good. And we're glad you're still here making great sausage, which I need to try.
You have to try it.
Yes. All right. So we're talking about Creole Made Easy. So why did you write this book?
So I'm going to back up a little bit.
Okay.
Right before the pandemic hit, I worked an outside job. And we decided, because we were opening the restaurant, we were doing a lot of things, that I would quit that job and start working with the company. And we do institutional sales. Right when I quit my job to do that, everything shut down. So here we are, both working for the company, and we've lost all these institutional sales. So I told my husband, we need to do direct-to-consumer sales now. And we need to show people what to do with the sausage. So I started doing all these recipes to show people it's more than just like beans and gumbo and those types of things. And I started doing a cooking segment on Fox 8. And I would always say at the end of the recipe, it's Creole Made Easy, because if you use our sausage, it's so much flavor, you have little to do. It does all the work for you. It's Creole Made Easy. So that just kind of stuck. And I started collecting the recipes. People started emailing them from me. So then it became a project. And I not only used the recipes that I did, that I came up with to use with the sausage, but I got family recipes, because I feel it's so important that if we don't document, you lose them. You know how people want to play recipes close to the chest and say, oh, I can't give it to you. Well, then it dies off. Mm-hmm. And recipes are historical documents, basically.
Yes.
I find that, they get tweaked and changed based upon the climate and what's going on. For example, some recipes where it might have called for 2 pounds of crab meat. Well, who's buying that right now? It's so expensive. So you scale back and you do different things. So you can see the recipes are reflective of the time. And that was always fascinating to me. And that's why my cookbook is a little different, because it's not just appetizers, entrees, desserts. The recipes tell the story and tell the history of our family and other things in New Orleans, cultural New Orleans.
Mhm. So, how many recipes do you have in this book?
I think it's 88 that made the cut.
Okay. And so I love the, if I can show this a little bit, I love the family photos. Hold on, people. I missed my angles. I
Yeah,
love the
there it
family
is.
photos, the and just the history, because you kind of put it in segments, the history of your family, the Vaucresson family, and then your family that is existing today. And so I kind of love that timeline. So why should people buy this particular book? Like, what makes it so unique?
I think that there are a lot of good recipes in there. I think they're easy to do. I never like a recipe where you have to go out and buy two spices that you're never going to use again, because even though I'm never using them again, I feel like I can't throw them out. Um, I like it where 80% of the items are going to be from stuff you already have in your pantry or your fridge. You might have to, go out and get one or two, but not a lot. And I remember when I started cooking with a family, and I'm like, Mom, I don't have this. And she's like, look, just use what you got and make it work. Because I didn't want to load up kids, run to the store to get one thing. So I've never cooked like that. And so I didn't want to put it in a book like that either. So I
Mhm.
think that's one of the things that makes it unique. It's also written in language. I started cooking when I was 12, and my mama would write these recipes out for me. One, two, three, four. It wasn't all this fold in. It was plain stuff that a 12-year-old can do. And I tried to do that with this book because it made it easy. And then I loved cooking because of that.
Yes, I love it too. And because I was able to sit down, consume it, go through the ingredients list, not a long list of ingredients. And I like to say, uh, we used to play Chopped before Chopped was hip, right? Right. We have to figure out what to make, what to substitute. And I know we talked earlier. So, do people need to buy your sausage to make these recipes?
No, and on a lot of recipes, it says on there, use a spicy, if you can't get this sausage, use a spicy sausage or use, whatever Italian sausage you can find. So it may not be as good without our sausage, but it definitely is doable. And I think the recipe still works because I
Okay.
did do recipe testing with other sausages as well.
Okay. Can people purchase sausage from your website?
We are revamping that now. We
Okay.
stopped shipping because we're in New Orleans. It's the temperature is set to hell right now. So it's a perishable product. Our sausage is fresh. It's not smoked. And if one UPS driver leaves it on the truck, guess what? It's gone. So we're not shipping right now. We're hoping to get back when it gets a little cooler.
Okay. But people can stop in and
Stop in and pick it
pick
up.
up. Yes. Yes, pick it
And
up.
see the sausage being made while they're here.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah, we
great.
make it where you
So,
can see it.
and tell people where you're located.
We are located in the heart of the Seventh Ward, 1800 St. Bernard Avenue, on the corner of St. Bernard and North Roman.
Okay. And we'll tell them again at the end, if they stick around, they'll get to hear that as again as well. So tell us some of your must try recipes or your favorite recipes.
Okay, so my favorite recipe, believe it or not, is one of the hardest ones in the book. It is the crawfish bisque recipe. And
Ooh.
it's because it's so special. My mom only made it at Easter time. And when I was doing this book, I realized that even though it wasn't an easy recipe, that I needed to have it and put it in there. One, if I didn't get it from her, it's going to die with her because she's the only one in my family that does it. And I spent 2 days with her just on this recipe
Mm.
to get everything because it's where you stuff the crawfish heads with the crawfish dress like a stuffing, and then you have to make a gravy to go with it. And when we do it, we do like 250 crawfish heads stuff. It's a whole process, and it takes a lot of people to help. So that's the most special one to me because I had to spend 2 days with my mama,
Oh.
fighting, of course, um, fighting with her and trying to, because she's cooked a long time and she wasn't very good about writing things down. So part of my thing was to quantify. I needed to quantify for it. So that was a little challenging, but very special.
Oh yes. Oh yes. What
Um,
else should people try?
so they tried, I think the crab meat stuffed mushrooms
Ooh.
are easy. They are so good. People will ask you, what's the recipe on that? Because they're so good and so easy.
Is it this one, Miss Linda's?
Yes, my sister-in-law started doing that recipe because my younger brother would show up late all the time for holiday meals. So she wanted to have something to get like while we would wait because we had to sit down and eat all together. So my sister-in-law started making those. Amazing. And you can see not many ingredients in it.
No, not intimidating at all. Okay, that's a must. How about
That
one more?
one more coconut shortbread cookies. I'm a
Ooh,
quick
yes, yes,
and
I
that
am gonna make those.
only 6 ingredients in that recipe. And my mom would make it around Easter and amazing. They really are amazing.
So what makes them amazing? What do you think?
They're simple. Anything with few ingredients is better.
Mhm.
Um, but they're a crowd pleaser. They're so sweet. They're so tasty, and the coconut, and it's not overbearing. Even people that said, I don't like coconut, they like these cookies. So
Good. So I'm
you
gonna
got to
try
try that.
those. Yes, for sure. So, how did you get the name Creole Sausage Queen?
I've always wanted to be queen of something. So, and I remember telling my mom, I said, I want a title. She said, you have one, Mrs. Keep it moving. But I married the Sausage King. He's the heir to the whole sausage thing in New Orleans. And so I decided I would be the Creole Sausage Queen. And it just kind of stuck. And here I am.
And you put it on a book to make sure you capture it as
I
well.
put it on a book. I got it on T-shirts. I have stickers. I have everything. And people seem to like it.
Good. Very good. I was wondering about that. So, you guys also launched a mustard line.
Not us, me.
Oh, excuse me, excuse me.
So let me tell you about that because I also have
Okay.
recipes in the book that feature the mustard.
Yes.
Um, After the 2019 Jazz Festival, I told you I quit my job. I was working with the company and doing the book work and noticed that we were spending a ton of money on condiments and most particularly mustard. So I told my husband, I said, you know what? I think we need to do our own mustard line. That way they'll be perfectly paired with our sausage, but they could be standalone products as well. And he was like, I think that'll be a great little hobby for you. I was like, say less. I
Right.
went and met with a recipe developer, a food scientist. I started working on this. I got the recipes, still had to tweak them from there. It was not yet my thing. I had to tweak it. And now I have a line of 6 condiments. I have a Creole green onion sauce. I have Creole mustard, of course, caramelized shallot mustard, mango mustard sauce. I do pecan mustard, Louisiana pecan mustard,
Ooh.
a spicy mustard, a cranberry mustard, and I know I'm forgetting one. No, I think that's it.
Oh, wow.
And they have taken off. I like to say that I am the sauce to his sausage, and he's the must to my mustard. It's a love
I
story.
love it. Yes, a great love story. So, yes, so here's a picture of you.
That's doing a TV segment on the local Fox 8
Yeah.
affiliate.
And then it starts making my mustard. So you talk a little bit about that.
I
And
talk
I'm getting
about that.
more great pictures.
And
Yes.
yes, that's my mom and I on TV. I brought her on with me one time, and she told me, "Don't be surprised when they call me to come back and not you."
Oh.
Okay, mom. I was like, "Oh,
She's
okay."
so cute. So what advice would you give someone who's in business?
So I would say, because back to the mustard for real quick. So now I private label. I started my own company and I private label the mustard for the sausage company.
Okay.
So I do the manufacturing, do everything for that. I would say to keep your eyes open and just pay attention, because there are opportunities everywhere. But you have to be open to, one, receive them, and to realize what the need is. And so the mustard thing just happened to come about because looking at all the bookwork, and I said, okay, and I found out there's no other Black woman doing mustard. I'm the only one. So I was very happy about that. But you gotta, just keep your eyes open. And I think that happens all the time. People find out that their child is nonverbal, so they come up with something that helps with that. Just be in tune to it, and opportunities will find you in the strangest places, but you have to be open to it and be willing to put in the work.
Right. I was going to say, my husband and I like to say, someone's got to do the nerd work, right? The research, the calling, all those little, those
All of
little
that.
nitpicking things. Very good. And
All of that.
so, if someone was interested in writing their book, what advice would you give them?
Writing a book is hard, but it is one of the most worthwhile things that you could do. It's almost like you're giving birth, because it's so, you put yourself out there. Because like if you read my book, it's a lot of personal stories about my family and some of the things that we've gone through, but it's so worth it. And I think everybody has a story that could be told, and you need to put it down, document it.
For sure, definitely. And to me, it almost read like a memoir.
I think it is.
Yeah,
I think
it's a
it is.
memoir. It captures your family, the pictures, the recipes. And to me, what I love about this book is, if no one would ever buy the book, you have this for your family and your children.
I
That's
do.
the importance of this book, for everybody to just document your history and your interactions and the good times, families have,
The,
and
the
traditions. And
and
that's,
traditions. And I
yes.
think that was what I really wanted to do too, because like I said, Creole is a culture. It's not a race. It's not any of that stuff. And there are certain things that are marrying the food with the ritual. There's a recipe in there for these rice balls called collabs, and that was served for first communion. When the little kids made first communion, you did that. So it's like the ritual behind a lot of the things. Red beans we serve on Monday. That's the story behind that. So it's just it's part of that too. So it's not just about my family and our family history, but more about New Orleans history and the culture.
Correct. And how we have to be the bearers of the stories, right? We need to
Right,
tell the stories and capture the stories for ourselves, because
right,
we definitely don't want to erase history, right? We don't want that
right.
to happen.
And
Uh,
we have to tell our own
and we
story.
have to tell the story. Absolutely. Well, this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate this. How can people stay connected with you and visit again? So,
So I have a website, www.imjulieb.com. Vaucresson was too long to put there, so imjulieb.com. You can get the mustards there. You can get the cookbook there. You can stop by our restaurant. We have a website too, www.vaucressonsausage.com. I know it's hard to spell, so maybe we can put that in the somewhere.
yes, we'll put it in the
Um,
comments.
and of course, come by the restaurant. You'll see all the characters from the book in here almost daily. My
Mhm.
kids, my husband, myself.
And the address again, one more time.
1800 St. Bernard Avenue, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70116.
All right. Anything else to add about the book, about your business, about your family?
I think if I wanted to add one thing to it, I'm a supporter of Black women-owned businesses, and I think that we all need to support them. So I want people to support you uh, with your bookstore, and it's wonderful what you're doing. So thank you, because I think that's pretty important. But other Black women-owned businesses as well.
Yes, and anything we can do to support you, please let us know. You can watch the replay of this on our YouTube channel. And thank you so much, Miss Julie. We appreciate you spending time with us. And if you haven't already, check out Creole Made Easy with the Creole Sausage Queen in New Orleans or on my bookstore. I'm sorry, we
On
have
bookstore.
copies in New Orleans. I'm not in New Orleans. In Virginia Beach. Ooh, that maybe that's foreshadowing. I maybe that I'll be moving back to New
You got to
Orleans.
come back.
In our Virginia Beach store at 1624 Laskin Road inside the Painted Tree Boutiques. So until next time, you guys, see you
Thank you.
later. Thank you, Miss Julie.
Bye.
Oh yes, most appropriate. The
The
Queen
Queen
way.
Way.
Yes, thank you.